Elizabeth Warren says no to a Fox News town hall. The decision to shun the conservative network is a break from Senator Bernie Sanders and other 2020 Democrats who have agreed to appear on Fox. Senator Elizabeth Warren will not participate in a town hall on Fox News, saying Tuesday that she turned down an invite to go on the conservative network. So here's her quote. Fox News is a hate-for-profit racket that gives a megaphone to racists and conspiracists. It's designed to turn us against each other, risking life and death consequences to provide cover for corruption that's rotting our government and hollowing out our middle class. She said Fox News tries to sell itself as a reputable news outlet by mixing its bigotry, racism, and outright lies with some legitimate journalism in order to bring in ad money. A Democratic town hall gives the Fox News sales team a way to tell potential sponsors it's safe to buy ads on Fox. No harm to their brand or reputation. Spoiler, it's not, she said. I won't ask millions of Democratic primary voters to tune into an outlet that profits from racism and hate in order to see our candidates, especially when Fox will make even more money adding our valuable audience to their ratings numbers. And, of course, as the article points out, this breaks from Bernie Sanders. So, I don't disagree that Fox News is a despicable outlet. I don't disagree with that. They're part of a disastrous fake news and information structure that we have here in the United States. And I call it fake because it's not a news and information structure at all. We don't have a news structure. Like, we just don't have one. The United States does not have one. Other countries do. The United States doesn't. It's one of the reasons why in the Press Freedom Index we are barely in the top 50. It's one of the reasons why. Big reason why. Fox News is absolutely despicable, but the reality of the situation is they are a network watched by a lot of people. A lot of people who are going to show up to vote. And Bernie Sanders went on his Fox News town hall and he crushed it with progressive populist ideas. So he found a way to unite people. Whereas Elizabeth Warren is simply refusing to go on the platform. Instead of trying to use the platform for good, she's simply refusing the platform. Now, if you want to talk about the issue of why Fox News is a terrible outlet, we can certainly have that discussion. And it goes into the toxic, non-existent media structure of the United States, of which CNN and MSNBC are both guilty as well. And I think the argument can be made, because I've made it myself, that MSNBC in some ways is doing an even bigger disservice to the American populace than Fox News is, because MSNBC parrots the agenda of big oil. They parrot the agenda of being pro-war. They were owned by General Electric up until recently. They do not allow actual progressive voices on that network, or hardly ever. And they are more of the same establishment status quo. With Fox News, at least you know what you're getting into. With Fox News, everybody knows that that's a right-wing propaganda outlet. Or at the very least, people consider it a right-wing outlet. Maybe some people think it's not propaganda, but it's at the very least a right-wing outlet. With MSNBC, people don't even know that's... There's people who think MSNBC is a progressive outlet. It's not. It's just not. It's owned by Comcast, for crying out loud. So, what's worse? The school bully who you know is the school bully, or the person who pretends they're your friend but they're actually working against you? Which is worse? I would say the latter is even worse. The person that stabs you in the back is even worse. And in this metaphor, MSNBC is the friend that stabs you in the back. The person posing as your friend who isn't your friend at all. So when I saw this headline and I saw that Elizabeth Warren refused a town hall on Fox News, the first thing I did was I was like, has Elizabeth Warren recently, and we covered this on this show, you don't hear much of this from the corporate press, I wonder why, but recently the FCC tried to even lax rules further when it came to media consolidation. They wanted to raise the caps of television stations one entity could own, which would further media consolidation in this country. Which part of the reason we have the media structure, the fake media structure that we have, is because of the Telecommunications Act in 1996, which lifted all of the protections on how many stations and entities one company could own. They want to relax those protections even further. And who are those protections for? We the people. Those limitations on how many stations one entity could own assured a diverse range of viewpoints, assured that one company did not become too big or powerful in the name of media. So lifting those protections eliminated that idea of a broad and diverse media. The FCC wants to further deregulate the media even further. And I looked because I was curious, did Elizabeth Warren say anything about this? She did not. Now, she has spoken about breaking up Facebook and Google and stuff like that. She has spoken about the digital sphere, so I'll give her a thumbs up for that. That's a good thing. But when it came to media ownership and the recent policy the FCC is pursuing, the Trump FCC is pursuing, that we covered on this show, Elizabeth Warren was silent. Not seeing anything from Elizabeth Warren on that. So when you're a politician, it's your job to reach as many people as possible. So to write yourself out of one of the biggest outlets in the country is very counterproductive and backwards if you're a politician, even though all the stuff you said about that network is true. All the stuff she said about Fox News is true. So as an elected official, your job is to try to pursue policies and try to pursue endeavors to give us a better media in the United States. Your job is not to stay away from a platform that would prohibit your ability to reach people. Because Bernie Sanders used it to his advantage. It's awful that we have Fox News. That Fox News is the thing that can exist the way it can. But it's your job as an elected official to use that to your advantage. In fact, it's your job as a journalist, too, to do that. There's great journalists that go on Fox News. And they probably convert a few people. There's people that have probably heard Dennis Kucinich on Fox News that thought, you know what? Yeah, that guy's making sense. There's people that have heard Glenn Greenwald on Fox News that said, yeah, that guy's making sense. There's people that have heard Katie Halper on Fox News and thought, wow, I want to look more into her. I want to see what she's saying. And then they discover a different perspective. There's people who probably saw Kyle Kalinske on Fox News, Nomiki Konst. The list goes on and on. There's great progressives who go on Fox News. They don't thumb their nose at it because they understand that it is a big platform. Whether that's good or just or not, it isn't. But again, when it comes to our media structure, Fox News is a symptom of the bigger problem. And Elizabeth Warren hasn't really been outspoken about that bigger problem all that much. She's done a little bit, and I'll give her credit there. But I disagree 100% with her decision to not do a Fox News town hall. And I think Bernie Sanders did it the right way. Elizabeth Warren's doing it the wrong way. Do you guys agree? Do you guys think does anyone think she's doing the right thing by not doing it Fox News town hall? Chip says Liz has a lot of bark but no bite. Well, based on this decision, I think that's a fair assessment. Definitely Human also points out that Fox has also given Tulsi some time. Sean Brock, Nick Brana is right. The Justice Dems have already been co-opted. AOC is the new Elizabeth Warren. Well, I hope that's not the case, Sean. I guess we'll find out. Schultze, Warren has her moments, but she's way too wishy-washy for me. Not enough backbone, not enough vision either. The Jones says, just because the first lefty to go on Fox got treated fairly doesn't mean they will do the same for Warren. I get why she said no. I don't know if Bernie was treated fairly or not. I just know that Bernie used his talking time to maximize it. And I think that, I know that they definitely had some audience members there that were being planted to, not be pro-Bernie, but Bernie worked it to his advantage anyway. And he won people over with ideas that they were connecting with. So I think if you only want elected officials who will be going on somewhere where they'll be quote-unquote treated fairly, that's a very low bar for an elected official, I would say. I want an elected official who can handle themselves in any media platform that they're put into. So I think, oh, you might not treat me fair, so I'm just going to stay home. That's certainly nothing I'm inspired by. So whether she'll be treated fairly or not, I think is a complete non-issue. I mean, that's my take on it. And Balthazar, thank you for another Super Chat contribution. I will say Warren has better vision than Schumer. That guy still doesn't understand how glasses work. I like Warren better than a lot of the other establishment, well, pretty much all the other establishment candidates, but that's not saying anything. That's a very, very small, thing I would give to her. I like her better than, I think she's better than Harris. I think she's better than Booker. I think she's better than Chuck Schumer. I think she's better than Pete Buttigieg. But, I mean, what's that saying? Very little. Some of you guys are reminding that she did endorse Hillary. Yes, she did. Jinxana makes an analogy. I see this as a huge mistake, like when Hillary just avoided the Rust Belt. It's going to come back to bite her. I agree with that, too. I think that, especially when you see somebody like a Bernie Sanders who can go on there and win some people over, to just thumb your nose at the outlet itself. And again, even though the things she said about Fox News, I thought were right on. I agree with all that. But, as a politician, it's your job to reach people. And whether it's good or not, well, it's not good, but the reality of the situation that we all have to navigate is that a lot of people watch Fox News. It's still, a large network with a big reach. An overstated reach, but still a big reach. Overstated, yes. But still big, yes. I mean, keep in mind, cable news, people are fleeing cable news in droves. So, those numbers are declining, but they're still big. It's still a big, big game in town. Some of you guys are pointing out that Warren does have some ideas. She does. I mean, there's some things she's did that I like. And when she did, we covered it on this show. Her drug bill that she worked on with Bernie was a good bill. She had a couple other bills out there that were, there was the one, there was a banking bill she had recently. We talked about that. Yeah, she's had a few good bills out there, and you just hope that. But she's also backpedaled on a few things, so you hope that if she's ever in a position to really push something through, you kind of wonder if she'll actually, if she'll walk the walk, so to speak. So, Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your news on with Ron.